Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bearing Insights. I'm Timothy alongside Sergio again. Sergio, of course, welcome.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. What's up, Tim?
Yes, I'm good. Thanks. Welcome back, everybody. Now, as you know, we are giving out 5 tips for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Eredivisie, Premier League, and the Bundesliga. So, if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe. Also, smash the like button. Now, quick recap for our picks last week. Actually, last week was really good. I really like the picks we made. We gave out some good picks that were just some absolute smash. Manchester City winning and Real Madrid winning. Now we kind of said like those odds were really disrespectful. Manchester City was close to 2-1. Real Madrid thing was like 1.8. Utrecht winning,
Yeah,
also a good pick. Utrecht just smashed Ajax, man.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
and
really bad.
one of the best one
Yeah.
also.
And also Parma winning against Juventus. Now I was on Juventus, but this is not anymore. You told me Parma, and Parma was close to 4-1. So we gave out some great picks. We'll be looking to continue that this week, right?
Yes, we'll do our best.
All right. Now this week we are starting with the Bundesliga, and first game on the schedule: Bayern Munich hosting Mainz. Bayern win set at 1.2. Mainz win set at 13. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, listen, man, this is another odd that I listen. I'm not. I don't want to say it's disrespectful to Mainz, but Mainz is a team in the top six, and you get like 13. Now I don't think they'll win this game, but and I understand like Bayern, they have to win this game because close to being champions. But I think 13 is a lot. So right, so if you look at Mainz +2, you get like 1.98. So if the game's kind of close and your ticket still cashes. And Bayern, although they win their games against the lower teams, they've played some close games against really bad teams like St. Pauli and even lost to Bochum and stuff like that. So and Holsten Kiel even 4-3. So I think Mainz can keep it close. So I would play Mainz +2. Sergio, are you doing something here?
I would go for the both teams to score. Bayern win. Yeah, because I do think Mainz is gonna score a goal. So you get a little bit more. Yeah, not much, but I think it's a better choice.
I would say not a bad odd, and I agree with you. Mainz should definitely get on the scoreboard here, and obviously Bayern at home, I can see Mainz shutting down Bayern. So I think Bayern will win this game, but I think it will be close. Both teams to score, not bad. All right. Next up, Holstein Kiel hosting Gladbach. Kiel wins set at 3.2. Gladbach wins set at 2.15. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, listen, Gladbach is still in the race for the top six spot. Give them a ticket to the Conference League. Holstein Kiel already relegated, right? Basically relegated. 6 points behind Heidenheim, with only 4 games left to play. So Holstein Kiel not really playing for anything. Gladbach still playing for something. So I'm leaning towards Gladbach here, but Gladbach on the road could be some trouble, and Holstein Kiel, playing a little bit freely maybe causes Gladbach some trouble here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't think they'll playing freely. I think a lot of players are already thinking about leaving. So so I'm just gonna go for a Gladbach win. I think they'll see this as a uh, practice match. So maybe do their best a little bit more. So no, I'm on Gladbach.
Yeah, like there's absolutely no reason to take Kiel here. What they've won one game in the last 14, so it would be a real shock if they were to win against Gladbach here. I agree with you. I'm also going with Gladbach here. 2.15, great odds. Can't let that one pass up.
No, sure not.
All right. Next up, Hoffenheim hosting Dortmund. Hoffenheim wins set at 4.4. Dortmund wins set at 1.7. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now listen, Dortmund, they played a good game last week, won against Gladbach. Hoffenheim's been really struggling the last couple of games, just one win in the last six. Now, both of these teams are kind of playing for something, right? Dortmund seventh now, 2 points behind Mainz for that sixth spot, and Heidenheim 5 points behind Hoffenheim. So, obviously, sorry, Hoffenheim 5 points above Heidenheim. So obviously they want to keep that, maybe get another win and secure safety Bundesliga next season. So I think it will be a tough game for Dortmund, especially given their form on the road in the recent games. I'm leaning Hoffenheim here. I think double chance Hoffenheim is the play here. What are you doing?
Yes, the same. I was thinking exactly the same. And maybe over the over 3.5. Dortmund seems to still, score a lot. And yeah, and sure, Hoffenheim will score. So I'm maybe the over 3.5 and double chance Hoffenheim.
Yeah, I can't argue with that because Hoffenheim they've allowed 3 goals in two out of the last 3 games. They lost 3-1 against Leipzig, lost 3-2 against Freiburg, and Dortmund they've scored 3 goals in the last 2 games, 3-2 over Gladbach and 3-1 over Barcelona, and obviously a 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich. Before that, also a 4-1 win over Freiburg. So Dortmund they can score. So that's why I'm not picking an outright win for Hoffenheim. I'm going with the double chance, but I have to tell you, I also like the over 3.5. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Bayer Leverkusen hosting Augsburg. Leverkusen wins set at 1.36. Augsburg wins set at 9. A line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Leverkusen, really disappointing. Now, back-to-back draws, and you're only 6 points behind Bayern Munich. So if you had won those games, now you would be only 2 points behind Bayern. So it's really unfortunate for them. I'm not sure if they still have hope. I guess at home after back-to-back draws, they should come out here and win this game. But I'm not sure how much hope they have left to really keep the pressure on Bayern. Also, I don't think Augsburg is winning this game. What are you doing?
Yeah, they should win against Augsburg. The game against St. Pauli, was really disappointing, and I think it was a shame. Yeah, Union the same. 2 games you should win. So I don't think they're gonna do the same against Augsburg again. 3 games in a row. So this is almost a must win. So just go for Leverkusen win over two
Yeah,
and a
Yeah, I agree with you. And the last couple of games, I know back-to-back draws, but they dominated possession. They had chances to score. They just didn't score enough. And obviously, if you don't score enough, you're not gonna win. But they dominated the possession, so that was a good sign. And I think at home, if they have the same approach, they should be able to score here against Augsburg and pull out the win.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Wolfsburg hosting Freiburg. Wolfsburg wins set at 2.48. Freiburg wins set at 2.88. Line for Turgo set at 2.5. Now, Freiburg locked in that fifth spot right now. 1 point behind Leipzig, 1 point above Mainz. So uh, they need to keep winning, picking up points. Wolfsburg pretty much out of it, not playing for anything, sitting at 12 right now, 39 points. So Wolfsburg not playing for anything. They've had a rough stretch last 6 games, didn't win a game. But you kind of saw in the last home game they played against Leipzig, there was some urgency, right? They fell down 3-0, made it 3-2, kind of interesting the last 15 minutes. So I think at home they want to respond here, but I'm not sure they win. And Freiburg playing for something should also be on high alert and make this a real good game. So I'm looking at the over 2.5 goals here. What are you doing?
Yeah, Freiburg, like you said, still playing for something, but Wolfsburg, yeah, I think it's over there. The players gave up already, and especially the last 6 games, just 2 draws and 4 losses. Yeah, it's they know it's over. So I think Freiburg is gonna play with a little bit more, a little bit, or they have a little bit more will to win. So I would just go for Freiburg.
Obviously, not a bad play. I'm not sure I really like Freiburg on the road. I don't think they're shutting out Wolfsburg, so that's why I'm going with the over 2.5. But obviously, Freiburg they're playing for something, so if you're gonna have to pick a winner, you would lean toward that side. All right. Next up, Frankfurt hosting Leipzig. Frankfurt wins set at 2.02. Leipzig wins set at 3.4. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Leipzig, no, they hired a new coach. 3 games unbeaten now, but Last game just a draw. So I'm not sure if the new coach really changed things or it was just a new coach bump. The last game was a bit disappointing, a draw at home against Holstein Kiel. Frankfurt also coming off some disappointing results, got knocked out the Europa League, and then same weekend a draw against Augsburg where they kind of look out of sorts. But now they go back home. They're sitting at that third spot, 3 points above Leipzig. So at home they should rebound here and make sure they keep Leipzig under them. So I'm gonna go with Frankfurt here. They've been solid at home this season, while Leipzig on the road. I know they won their last road game against Wolfsburg, but this man, that was like their second road win in the last, what's it, 20 road games, and the other one was against Kiel. Just they've been bad on the road. I'm going with Frankfurt here. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I would also go for Frankfurt. Leipzig, I think they'll start over next season. Yeah, the new coach bump. Yeah, I think it just took 2 games. So yeah, I'm on Frankfurt also.
All right. Next up, Bochum hosting Union. Bochum wins set at 2.33. Union wins set at 3.15. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Union over the last 6 games, man, some real impressive results. They won 3 games against Frankfurt, Freiburg, and Wolfsburg, and 3 draws against Bayern Munich, Leverkusen, and Stuttgart. So this man, they're in absolute good form, great form actually. While Bochum, this is maybe their last chances to really climb out of that relegation spot. So I don't want to go against Bochum at home because they're desperate. But 4 straight losses against not really great teams. I have actually no reason to take Bochum here. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, like you said, Unio, it looks like they're out of the roll. I think it's a little bit too late, but I think they'll try to end the season as high as possible, and so yeah, I'm on Unio. I'm gonna risk it. I'm going for Unio. Bochum is you know, mm, just like the other ones. I expected a little bit more from the teams that are on the relegation tour, but it seems not to be this way this season.
Now, Union was one of them, right? So because Union is now sitting 13, only 35 points, but they picked up what's it, 12 points from the last 6 games.
Mm.
So that's just absolutely crazy.
Yes,
Uh,
but Union's the only one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in Spain, like Espanyol is also on a great run, but we'll get to that. But Bochum doesn't really seem to be working. Listen, man, I backed them like I think 2 weeks in a row, and they disappointed me. So I'm not doing that again. I think I'm staying away from this game. Maybe look at the over 2.5, but that's about it. Thinking this, I don't really have a bet in this game.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Werder Bremen hosting St. Pauli. Werder Bremen wins set at 1.96. St. Pauli wins set at 3.8. Leinfeld's total goal set at 2.5. Now, Bremen, 4 straight wins, also in the hunt for that sixth spot. St. Pauli, 14th, 5 points above Heidenheim. So both teams will be looking to pick up points here. Werder Bremen, like I said, 4 straight wins. They're in good form. St. Pauli, only 1 win in the last 5. Um, I think I'm gonna go with Bremen here at home. You know, they want to get that sixth spot, uh, gives you a ticket for the Conference League, and St. Pauli is not in immediate danger. 5 points above sorry, Heidenheim. So you got some breathing room. Um, I'm gonna go with Bremen here. Not really confident, but I'm gonna go with Bremen. What are you doing?
I should be a little bit. I think you should be a little bit more confident. Yeah, and I'm also on Reddit. Heidenheim ain't gonna win. Was it 3 games or something? So in a row. So no, I would just go for Reddit. Good odd. So and they're playing at home, so
All right.
they'll go for the sixth spot, I think.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. But listen, man, I think Heidenheim they like 5 points clear, so Heidenheim would have to win like two out of the next five, and
Yeah,
they would
yeah.
have to
At
lose
least
out.
three. So
Yeah, 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 probably. You're right. So because if you expect St. Pauli to maybe get a win in the last five games, so Heidenheim would probably have to win three games. I
yes.
agree with you. All right, that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to Serie A. First game, Como hosting Genoa. Como wins set at 1.85. Genoa wins set at 4.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, both teams stuck on 39 points. Not really playing for anything. So, not a game I like staking my money on. But listen, man, Como, at least they can score goals. 43 goals scored, while Genoa's just, they have only scored 29 goals. So if I get a team that can score goals and is playing at home, I'll take Como, but that's about it. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. I think for the goals maybe the over 2.5. Como they score. Czech Fabregas. He keeps surprising me. I thought it was over. Let's say 4 matches ago, and now they won three in a row. So it looks like it's going again. So Como win or the over 2.5.
I would just go for the Como win. In terms of scoring goals, I'm not really expecting help from Genoa, so I would just go for the Como win. All right, next up, Venezia hosting AC Milan. Venezia wins set at 4.9. AC Milan wins set at 1.67. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, AC Milan, they booked a ticket to the final for Coppa Italia, beating Inter in great fashion, 3-0. Of Venezia, they've won one out of the last three, but undefeated in the last three. And this man, they're sitting at that 18th spot, only 1 point behind Lecce. So also a team that's desperate. I don't think they have enough, even at home, to beat AC Milan. But they could make it tough here. So I'm looking at the over 2.5 goals. What are you doing?
Uh, Both teams to score. AC Milan win. I'm uh, I'm on AC Milan still. Um, really good what they did against Inter. You said it, but Venezia, I don't think they're that good. So I'll give them a goal against AC Milan.
Yeah. Now the only thing that worries me is that like AC Milan, they've maybe checked out of the league. Focus on winning the Coppa Italia final. Now you can't bank on that because if you lose now, you're just really behind the sticks. So I do think they have to come out and win this game. But I'm just worrying if they maybe have checked out of the league because they're 6 points behind Lazio with 5 games to go. So um, are they really catching Lazio? I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah, but still, Venezia, they're sitting 18th. They don't play for anything anymore.
No, they're 1 point behind Lecce, so you win one out of the your last 5 games and hope Lecce loses out, which is pretty much possible. Now you're clear, and you survive Serie A. Would be difficult given the way they've been playing this
Yeah,
season, but
that's right.
but Lecce isn't that much better, right? And in fact, Venezia has a better goal difference than Lecce, so it's possible they climb above Lecce.
Yeah, it's possible.
All right. Next up, Inter hosting Roma. Inter win set at 1.78. Roma win set at 4.9. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, listen, after Inter got knocked out of Coppa Italia, no more, they're no longer in run for the treble. Um, Listen, man, I have to just smash Inter here. 1.78. I think those are some great odds for a team that's sitting at one and really will be looking to become champions. I don't think after losing 3-0 against AC Milan, they're coming here at home and losing against Roma. So I'm really smashing Inter here. What are you doing?
Yeah, they would have to lose three in a row and 4 games without a win. So yeah, that's no, that's not Inter like this season. So maybe both teams to score, Inter win, give Roma a goal, over 2.5. Yeah, but to play it safe, you can just go for the Inter win.
Yeah, and actually last week we called the win Bologna over Inter. We said it would be a tough game for Inter going on the road after playing Bayern Munich, and Bologna won. So that was another great pick by us. But this week I'm on Inter as you are. I think they should win this game.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Empoli. Fiorentina wins set at 1.83. Empoli wins set at 4.9. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Fiorentina only 3 points behind Lazio, five above AC Milan, also 1 point behind Roma. So Fiorentina, they have a chance to catch Lazio, um, much bigger chance than AC Milan does. Empoli, another team sitting on 25 points, 1 point behind Lecce. So it's kind of a
Mm,
relegation race down there, and those three teams, Empoli, Venezia, and Lecce.
yeah.
So I think Empoli will do something here, to maybe cause Fiorentina some trouble. And with Fiorentina having the Conference League game coming up against Real Betis, they might not be fully invested in this game. So I would play both teams to score. I don't think Empoli has enough to win this game, but I do think they can score a goal here. So both teams to score at 2-1. I think it's a great out. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But Fiorentina, there's always still, the bigger chance of Fiorentina winning, and maybe the over 2.5 sitting at 2.18. So yeah, I would still go for a Fiorentina win.
Yeah, I would rather go for Fiorentina win than the over 2.5 because for the over 2.5 to hit, I think Empoli would have to score first because if Fiorentina scores first, like I said, with one eye on the Real Betis game coming up, they may just slow things down, take a 1-0 or 2-0 win, be satisfied, go stay home, obviously, but go to the next game. So. Um, I would rather play Fiorentina win, but I still think Empoli will score a goal, so I would play both teams to score. All right. Next up, Juventus hosting Monza. Juventus wins set at 1.2. Monza wins set at 17. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, listen, man, obviously Monza pretty awful, but Juventus at 1.2. I'm not sure I'm betting Juventus for the rest of the season, so definitely not picking them at 1.2. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna skip this game. Actually, yes, this is nothing, nothing interesting for me here. So, yeah, maybe Juventus win, maybe they won't. So, no. Yes.
All right. Next up, Atalanta hosting Lecce. Atalanta wins set at 1.24. Lecce wins set at 13. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Sorry, 2.5. Now, Atalanta back-to-back games and back-to-back wins and back-to-back clean sheets. And obviously, I don't have to say much about Lecce. They're just awful, can't score. Um, Atalanta in the third spot right now, 5 points above Juventus. So obviously you wanted to keep a top four spot and at home here. So man, the odds kind of tell you they should roll here. But I'm not betting this game at 1.24. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, this is one of the games I'm, not a lot to do also. Over 2.5 at 1.5. Yeah, that's maybe about it. But no, uh, same like Juventus, but only Atalanta has a lot bigger chance of winning.
All right. Next up, Napoli hosting Torino. Napoli wins set at 1.38. Torino wins set at 9.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Napoli obviously dead even on points with Inter. It's kind of crazy. Inter has scored 20 more goals than Napoli, but for some reason locked on points. Napoli's slight better defense. I think that shows up again here. Although Torino has only lost one out of the last 8 games, they're not playing for anything. Sitting at in the top 10 spot right now. Napoli, will be looking to keep the pressure on Inter. So Napoli win, obviously. Not sure Torino scores with Napoli's defense, so just a Napoli win. What are you doing?
Yeah, and they're playing at home, so I would try to over 2.5. Yeah, just let's see, because Inter, Napoli, they have a chance, like you said, keeping the pressure on Inter, and scoring more goals can help also. So against Torino, I think they'll try it.
Yeah, like obviously they're not catching Inter in terms of goal difference because it's too late for that now. But there should be urgency, and if they score early, it could get loose, and Napoli, maybe scores 3 goals. Um, Now the over 2.5 is sitting at 1.88, under 2.5 also at 1.88. So good chance it goes over. It's kind of a coin flip. All right, and listen, for a Napoli game, that's about as good as it gets because usually it's an it's the over 2.5 is sitting at much higher.
Mm.
All right. Next up, Udinese hosting Bologna. Now we're getting to the Monday games now. So kind of your favorite data bet, Sergio. Udinese hosting Bologna. Udinese wins set at 4.6. Bologna wins set at 1.87. Line for total set at 2.5. Now, Bologna also booked their ticket, winning against Empoli, going to the Coppa Italia final. Um, Udinese, kind of on a bad run here, 5 straight losses. They've only scored 1 goal. So even though Bologna, coming off a Thursday game, and they haven't been great on the road throughout the season, in the last couple of road games, they've been better. They've won 3 out of the last 5, although against bad teams, Verona, Venezia, and Empoli. But I think Udinese is kind of in the same boat right now and also not playing for anything, sitting at number 11. So it's over for them. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's over for them. That's why I would, for a Monday, Bologna, I think you know, they're very good this season, and I think the win against Inter proved that. So yeah, I'm gonna risk this Monday and go for Bologna.
Yeah, I'm going with you there. All right. Next up, Lazio hosting Parma. Lazio wins set at 1.49. Parma wins set at 6.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Parma undefeated in the last 6 games, but only 1 win. And that win came against Juventus last week. So, listen, man, you kind of said it. I think that game had much more to do with Juventus than Parma really being good. They've had some good results, a draw against Fiorentina, a draw against Inter, but still on the road here against Lazio, a Lazio team that's playing for something, could climb up to that fifth spot, could climb up maybe a top four spot, only 1 point behind Bologna. So Lazio at home should win this game. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Just Lazio win. I think it will be a simple one. Both teams to score, yeah, maybe, but just the Lazio win.
All right, last game, Hellas Verona hosting Cagliari. Verona wins set at 2.6. Cagliari wins set at 3.4. Line for Torgo set at 2.5. Now, listen, man, I don't think I'm betting this game, especially not on a Monday. Um, both of these teams, I'm not sure. Cagliari is really clear, 5 points clear of Venezia, but with the way Venezia has been playing the season, I'm not sure Cagliari needs to be worried. So uh, I'm kind of skipping this game. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I'm skipping this game also. I think you said it all.
All right. Now that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to the Premier League. First game, Chelsea hosting Everton. Chelsea wins set at 1.52. Everton wins set at 7. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, last week we kind of were against Chelsea because of the awful display against against Legia Warsaw, but they came out on top against Fulham. We're down 1-0, but they crawled their way back. So a good result, and they played well. They dominated possession, created much more chances. So you kind of saw the urgency there. And Chelsea at home, I know they lost the last home game, but aside from that, they've only lost 2 home games this season. First game of the season against Manchester City, and then they lost in a game against Fulham, which is understandable, derbies. So I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't think they're losing back-to-back games, I think they're winning here against Everton. What are you doing?
Yeah, but I will just go for the over 2.5. Yeah, Chelsea, good game against Fulham. I think Fulham got surprised a little bit. I thought, or they thought that they would dominate the game, but they couldn't do it. So good win for Chelsea. But I'm still uh, I'm still on a over 2.5.
Yeah, Everton did score in the last game against Manchester City, so I guess they can score here. If you look at the Chelsea games, sometimes you worry about too many goals being scored, but over 2.5 is not a big number. Chelsea being at home, it should push it to the over. All right. Next up, Wolves hosting Leicester City. Now, listen, man. Wolves winning sitting at 1.52, Leicester City 6.75. Line for total goals 2.5. Now, Wolves is actually, they've been on fire. They've won five straight games. The win against United last week, we also called that one.
Yeah,
Uh, Wolves not playing for anything. Leicester City also not playing for anything. Listen, man, Leicester City just absolutely awful. There's no way you can stake your money on Leicester City. Um, I'm not sure why Van Nistelrooy is still around. You know,
yeah,
maybe
I don't get it.
I really don't get it. I really don't get it. Like they had like the longest streak of not scoring goals in the Premier League. They picked up a draw against Brighton, which was, I guess whatever that means. But last week against Liverpool, it looked like they were going to give Liverpool a little bit of a scare, but they had zero shots on goal, right? So even and I get it, it's Liverpool, but still you're at home. So even though they're playing a Wolves team that's not obviously not close to where Liverpool is, I really can't back Leicester City. You have to go with Wolves here. What are you doing?
Yeah, also going for Wolves. Yeah, but Wolves, I think mm, I think they have the same thing as Union. Started just a little bit too late. Found their game or their groove, but yeah, they're not relegating. So yeah, good for them. But I'm on Wolves.
All right. Next up, Southampton hosting Fulham. Southampton win set at 5.6. Fulham win set at 1.62. Line for zero goal set at 2.5. Now, Fulham, sorry, also not really playing for anything because they're 9 points behind Aston Villa for that seventh spot. So, um, obviously, I don't think they're catching Villa. But Southampton only 11 points. I don't think Southampton's winning another game for the rest of the season. These players, they're checked out. So you
Yeah,
have to go with Fulham here. 1.62 are actually some great odds for this game. And I know Fulham has lost four of the last five. Only one win against Liverpool, but it was kind of a tough schedule. You played against Chelsea last game, against a Bournemouth team that's really solid. The win against Liverpool, then they lost against Arsenal, and a loss against Crystal Palace, and a Crystal Palace team that was pretty much in form at that time. Southampton's nowhere near that, and because they lost four of the last five, I believe they will win this game, and they will do that against Southampton. What are you doing?
yeah. But do you think they'll maybe score a goal?
Southampton?
Yeah, yeah. They scored a lot in what
They've
4,
they've only
5.
been shut out once in the last six games against Aston Villa, so they could get a
Yeah,
goal.
yeah, yeah. So maybe both teams to score a full-on win. Yeah, but Southampton, it's really sad. Especially with a name like Southampton sitting way down south in the league. So it's terrible. But I'll give them a goal. Full-on win, both teams to score.
All right. Next up, Brighton hosting West Ham. Brighton wins set at 1.74. West Ham wins set at 4.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Brighton, a team that was really, they were doing really well early in the season, but now they've kind of lost their groove. Six straight games without a win. West Ham, obviously, not much better. Also, six games without a win. But Brighton being at home and obviously the better team, I think they will come out here and, especially against the last home game draw against Leicester City, they should want to finish this season strong. and get a win here. So I'm on Brighton, although they're not playing for anything. Neither is West Ham. West Ham's not been good this season. That's why they're sitting at 17. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not feeling this game. Actually, both teams, if you look at their form, it's just not there. So I'm just looking at a draw here, maybe, but uh, I'm uh, I'm gonna skip this game.
All right. Next up, Newcastle hosting Ipswich. Listen, man, Newcastle winning is sitting at 1.18. So obviously not doing anything in that game. Um, the total goal sitting at 3.5. So if you want to take the over, maybe I'm not comfortable taking the over. Are you doing something in this game?
No, no. Actually, the over, no, that's too optimistic, I think. Yeah. Uh, but what it was 6 games played. They won 5, only lost against Villa, so they'll win, but not a lot of goals.
All right. Next up, Bournemouth hosting United. Bournemouth wins set at 1.72. United wins set at 4.9. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, listen, man, with what you saw from United last week, and although we called it the loss against Wolves, obviously they're focusing on the Europa League. But even if they weren't focusing on the Europa League, I'm not sure they were winning this game on the road, and I'm not sure they're winning another game for the rest of the season. All right.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but
Listen, man. Okay,
it's possible. It's possible.
they got a couple games left, right? They're
Yeah,
playing Bournemouth on the road. Then you go on the road against Bilbao, a losable game. Then
yeah,
you go on the road against Brentford. Then you come back home against Bilbao, and then you finish the season against West Ham, Chelsea, and Aston Villa. So maybe they win against West Ham. Not sure,
yeah.
but this
Maybe.
man, I'm not putting my money on them for the rest of the season. I'm going with Bournemouth here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm also going for Bournemouth, and even both teams to score. I'm that confident, for Bournemouth. Both teams to score and Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth. I think they know. Also, that United is probably focusing on the European games. So yeah, and they're sitting in 8. So yeah, just go for a Bournemouth win
All right.
and both teams.
Yeah, I actually like that. All right. But because also both teams got shut out in their last game, so I think both teams will score here, but I still believe Bournemouth will win this game. All right, next up, Liverpool hosting Tottenham. Liverpool wins set at 1.27. Tottenham wins set at 11. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, if you look at the last Tottenham games, you already know they're checked out of the Premier League. So they're not fielding their strongest lineup and obviously focusing on Europa League. So, um, listen, man, there would be a time where you would say 11 for Tottenham is disrespectful. Not at this time. I'm gonna.
So,
So you have to go with Liverpool here. Um, Something really crazy would need to happen for Tottenham to win this game. Although Liverpool, they haven't been convincing in the last couple of games. Um, just a 1-0 win against Leicester City, 2-1 over West Ham, a loss against Fulham, just a 1-0 over Everton after a 2-1 loss against Newcastle United. So I'm not gonna put my money on Liverpool, but obviously Tottenham, they have other priorities. What are you doing?
um, my honest opinion, I think Liverpool pushed too hard at the beginning of the season. I think that maybe the coach wanted to prove himself in the league and also in the Champions League, because they started really good, and what I think they had a streak of how many games was it? Not losing, 10 or 11. So I think that was Liverpool's problem this season, and I think the gas tank is empty, but they're not gonna lose against Tottenham. Still gonna win the league, but I'll give them a 2-0 against Tottenham.
And listen, man. maybe just takes a little, just something on Tottenham if something were to go crazy. Because I think 11 is just, listen, I already said I don't think they're winning this game, but 11, maybe just taking a Tottenham win, both teams to score. Just a little fun bet for the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, but only then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to La Liga. First game, Villarreal hosting Espanyol. Villarreal wins set at 1.41. Espanyol wins set at 7.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Villarreal, 2 games in a row, no wins. The last one kind of unfortunate, an early red card, and then losing 3-0 against Celta. Espanyol, for some reason, they've been on fire. They've really climbed out of that relegation spot. Um, they've 5 straight games undefeated. Now they're sitting at 39 points. So they should be safe here. Villarreal sitting at 6 could climb up to a top 5 spot, especially if they win this game. They have a game in hand, 2 points behind Betis. So I think Villarreal wins this game at home. Espanyol should be satisfied with the results they've gotten from the last 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws. It should be enough for them to survive. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Villarreal win, but a little bit too low. They also maybe both teams to score. Villarreal win. I think you'll get a little bit more for that, and the over 2.5 also.
Yeah, obviously Villarreal doesn't have a great defense, 45 goals allowed, and
Yeah,
Espanyol over the last six, no, sorry, um it's been a while since they've been shut out, but they've really scored goals over the last 4 games. 4-0 win over Rayo, 2-0 over Celta, and then just a 1-0 over Getafe and a 1-1 draw against Valencia. But I agree with you. I think they can score here. So that's about the only game that's being played this weekend in La Liga.
Mhm.
But we have the Copa del Rey, Barcelona hosting Real Madrid. Um, Sergio, do you have any thoughts on that game?
yeah. I think it's gonna be one of
And
the
sorry,
best games this season.
to correct, like I said, Barcelona hosting. They're listed as the home team, but a
Yeah,
neutral field, obviously. But
yeah,
yeah, what are your thoughts?
yeah. I think it's gonna be the best game of the season for these two. Because it's Real Madrid, Barcelona. These two teams always when they play against each other, especially in a cup final. I think it's gonna be great, but still think Barcelona's gonna end up winning it.
Yeah, I agree with you. The way Real Madrid's been playing, I have a hard time really in backing them in this game. Barcelona has been rolling, especially this season against Real Madrid, and also there's some stuff lumbering about Ancelotti leaving in Real Madrid after this season. So I don't really like the rumblings I've been hearing. Now, one thing that worries me is that Barcelona obviously they're still playing Champions League, right? So
Yeah.
they have one eye on the Inter game that's coming up. That's one thing to worry about, but um, they've been great. Especially like I said, this season against Real Madrid, they've really rolled Real Madrid 5-2 in the last game, 4-0 before that. So I think we're in for a treat, but Barcelona should pull this out.
Yeah, but also, do you think that maybe the fans see this game a little bit more important than the Champions League?
Obviously,
It's
obviously,
it's Real
obviously.
Madrid.
No, listen, the
You
Champions
need to
League,
win this one.
the Champions League's obviously the most important prize, but I think there are some Barcelona fans that would rather
Yeah,
win this game and
yeah,
not win the Champions League. Like
yeah,
that's yeah, like they would feel really satisfied, especially if Barcelona were to roll again. This game is obviously important.
yeah.
Oh,
Are you watching it?
obviously, obviously,
Yes, yes, yes. Okay,
obviously.
okay.
All right. Now that wraps up games in Spain. Let's get to the Eredivisie last but not least. Fortuna hosting Willem II. Fortuna wins set at 1.83. Willem II wins set at 4.9. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, listen, man. Fortuna is sitting at number 13. 9 points clear of Willem II. Willem II is 16, so they're locked in a playoff spot, somewhat 5 points clear of RKC, and 7 points behind PEC. Listen, man, with like I said, 4 games left. I'm not sure RKC is climbing over Willem II, especially with what I've seen in yesterday against Utrecht. And
Yeah.
I don't think Willem II will be climbing over PEC. So I don't really think neither team is playing for anything in this game. Guess you gotta go with the home team. Or are you doing something?
Yeah, just go for the home team. They're playing at home, and yeah, Willem too. And it's an away game is it's a little bit too much to ask for them, especially against Fortuna.
All right. Next up, Ajax hosting Sparta. Ajax wins 1.45. Sparta wins at its 7. Line for zero goals set at 2.5. Now, with Ajax losing against Utrecht, PSV, I think they're smelling some blood because the game against Twente they played on midweek. You could really see the urgency. They really dominated Twente.
Oh.
It's one of maybe the better games you have seen from PSV in the last, what's it, 1 month, 2 months.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so maybe they think they still have a chance to pass Ajax. But Ajax at home, listen, man, you don't have a great schedule because you're also facing Twente your last game, and you don't wanna let it get that far, right? So you have 3 more home games against Sparta, against NEC, and against Twente. You should win the next 2 home games and make sure you're champions. So I'm gonna go with Ajax here. What are you doing?
Yeah, you have to go with Ajax here. But I don't think there are gonna be a lot of goals scored in this game. I think Ajax is gonna be very, very careful. So yeah, and Farioli, he's known for that. So Ajax win, but it's gonna be a boring game.
And I agree with you. All right, next up, Heerenveen hosting NEC. Heerenveen wins set at 2.02. NEC wins set at 3.8. Line for zero goals set at 2.5. NEC not playing for anything. Heerenveen locked it into that last playoff spot. So you want to keep it like that. Only 2 points be above Groningen. Listen, in Heerenveen, they've been really solid at home this season. And NEC, they're really struggling with only 2 wins in the last 10 games. Now, one was against Utrecht, but it's still, and the last one against RKC, a team that's fighting for relegation. So I don't really trust them going on the road here against a team that's been really solid at home in Heerenveen, only losing against Ajax at home. I'm going with Heerenveen. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. Heerenveen and the over 2.5 is really interesting. Also, I think NEC yeah will score a goal. So over 2.5 or the just the Heerenveen win.
I I fully agree with you. All right, last game, Almere City hosting Go Ahead Eagles. Almere City wins set at 2.7. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 2.55. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, listen, the only explanation I have for this game for Go Ahead Eagles sitting at 2.55 is because they're still partying and
Yeah,
a lot of players may be drunk.
yeah, yeah. Still, yeah, or still have a good percentage of alcohol in their blood system. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only way I can explain this odd. So obviously go at Eagles winning the cup. They get a ticket for European football, so this game won't mean much to them. Also, and they're locked into a playoff spot, so this game it really doesn't matter. Man, maybe you want to take a chance with Almere City, but listen, man, I can make a case. What are you doing?
Yeah, they'll definitely give everything Almere City because they know and they still have a small chance. So yeah, I would try City. I would try Almere City.
Obviously not a bet that we really like, but you could try Almere City because they should give everything here.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Now that wraps up this week's picks and leans. Now, quick recap for the bets we really like. I like Inter to win. I like Heerenveen to win. I like Gladbach to win. I like Frankfurt to win. I like Barcelona to win against Real Madrid. And in the Premier League, I like Bournemouth to win and Fulham to win. What do you guys say, Sergio?
I have Gladbach, Como, Werder Bremen, Fiorentina. Inter and Roma, I have both teams to score. Inter win. Bologna, Chelsea over 2.5. Heerenveen, and of course Barcelona also.
All right. Now that wraps up our picks and leans. And like we always say, guys, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, everybody.